is cooking. Voices in my head, they count for me, they understand, they talk to me. You got your rules and your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Lisa Rock Jones, and we are here with part 2 of WrestleMania weekend, which means NXT Takeover New Orleans.
It's coming up very soon.
NXT Takeover will happen the night before the greatest show in WWE's history, which of course means WrestleMania, but we will get to that tomorrow night.
Yes, tomorrow night indeed. We've got a lot of matches to cover, but for NXT Takeover New Orleans, we have 5 matches to cover.
Starting with the NXT Championship. Andretti and Almas, of course with Selena Vega, will defend the NXT Championship against Aleister Black,
Who is also known in the UK as Tommy End.
Now here, I would like to think we would see a new NXT champion, because when you look at the history of the NXT Championship, the average reign tends to last 4 to 5 months.
It seems to last about that sort of length, yeah.
When you combine that with the fact that in the shows immediately following WrestleMania and some of the weeks afterwards, we tend to have a lot of call-ups to the main roster. This is the ideal time to have championships change hands.
Absolutely.
Next, we move on to the NXT Women's Championship, when Ember Moon, who won the championship at NXT Takeover War Games in the Fatal 4-Way match, or Triple Threat, whichever one it was, will for the second time at an NXT Takeover event defend the championship against a former MMA fighter. No, not Ronda Rousey.
No.
But a close personal friend of hers, Shayna Baszler. Unlike an NXT Takeover Philadelphia, when these two met, I unfortunately do not see Ember Moon being victorious.
I don't either. I think it'll probably be Shayna Baszler's time to win.
Yes, because I would say the NXT Women's Championship tends to change hands on a more slightly regular basis than the main championship, unless of course your name is Asuka.
Of course.
The third match on the card is a triple threat match for the NXT Tag Team Championships and the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic trophy. Now, initially, this was supposed to be the Dusty Rhodes Classic, where the winners would face the NXT Tag Team Champions at NXT Takeover New Orleans. However, the Undisputed Era decided to interrupt the final match between the Authors of Pain and the team of Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong.
Which happens to be a very unlikely tag team.
Yes, which means that General Manager William Regal made this a triple threat match for the NXT Tag Team Championships and the Dusty Rhodes Classic trophy. Now, Pete Dunne, as we all remember, is the current WWE United Kingdom champion, and I could see him and Roderick Strong win the championship. In fact, I would possibly say they're probably the favourites, because I would say the Authors of Pain the Authors of Pain are likely to go up to the main roster following WrestleMania.
Most likely.
And due to the fact that Bobby Fish is currently injured,
Yes.
which means that Adam Cole is representing one half of the Undisputed Era in this match, I see them losing the championships.
Funny you say that, because I sense that will go down that way as well. You do.
Now, speaking of Adam Cole, he will be forced to do double duty at this takeover event.
Yes.
In a ladder match to determine the first NXT North American champion. This will be a 6-man ladder match featuring Adam Cole, EC3, otherwise known as Ethan Carter III,
From a company we dare not mention that we already mentioned yesterday.
Killian Dane, also known as
Big Damo from Defiant Wrestling.
Lars Sullivan,
The undefeated Lars Sullivan.
Ricochet,
The debuting Ricochet.
and the Velveteen Dream.
Now, there's a lot of favourites going into this match. I can't really pick one.
See, this is how I see this. You see, Adam Cole, you could possibly give it to him. It completely depends on what the plan is for the Undisputed Era.
Yes.
I would rule out Killian Dane because of the whole sanity thing. He's more of a tag team wrestler than a singles competitor. Lars Sullivan, possibly.
Because of the undefeated streak.
Velveteen Dream is a possibility. He just seems to have that special something.
And that leaves Ethan Carter III.
Yes, I'm not sure they would put a championship on EC3 and Ricochet in their debut match.
It's too soon, isn't it?
I mean, they could do it, but it's late. And it's worth noting that the NXT North American Championship is basically going to be NXT's version of the Intercontinental and United States Championships, which is a mid-card championship, and in my opinion it's long overdue because NXT hasn't had a mid-card singles championship.
Because so far, we've only got the NXT Championship, the NXT Tag Team Championships, and the NXT Women's Championship.
And you could to a certain degree count the United Kingdom Championship as an NXT mid-card championship, but with all its good intentions, that championship hasn't gone down too well, really.
No.
If they'd done the NXT European Championship or the WWE European Championship 2.0, it might have gone down better.
But, what is our final match?
Our final match has been in the making since NXT Takeover Chicago last year. For those of you who will remember, the DIY, a former tag team in NXT, were unsuccessful in defeating the Authors of Pain to win back the NXT Tag Team Championships.
Expecting their loss when all of a sudden, Tommaso Ciampa, from out of nowhere, attacks Johnny Gargano.
I thought that was your trick.
Yes. Well, that was my trick. It looks like Tommaso Ciampa might have stolen the head out of my book.
Yes, but Tommaso Ciampa turned heel on his partner Johnny Gargano.
Lashed him into the stage, kicked him in the face, and put him through a table.
Yes, and it looked like we would have a match going into NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. However, Tommaso Ciampa suffered an injury which put this rivalry on hold, whilst Johnny Gargano would emerge as a single star and come very close to becoming the NXT champion if it wasn't for Miss Selena Vega and Tommaso Ciampa himself. So, after failing to become NXT champion, I believe it was a couple of weeks following NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, Johnny Gargano was subsequently fired/banned from NXT. So he would basically go as far to attack Tommaso Ciampa outside the Performance Center and go to his house, aka Triple H and the lively with Randy Orton at WrestleMania 25.
Yes, again, it looks like more has been stolen. I need to have a word with these people.
So then a match was made official between Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, except this will be a unsanctioned match.
I've heard that saying before.
With a stipulation that if Johnny Gargano wins, he will be reinstated to NXT.
If Ciampa wins,
Then Gargano will be banned from NXT forever. Now, I can't decide this because I mean, if you want Johnny Gargano up on the main roster, you have him lose because then he's banned from NXT. There's no reason to keep him there.
true. And that'll be an early WrestleMania call-up. So, that about does it. NXT Takeover New Orleans.
Now, and also remember, we could see several of these superstars at WrestleMania in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and the women's one.
Yeah, so keep your eyes out if you're going to WrestleMania. So join us tomorrow night for when we bring you the Showcase of the Immortals.
The granddaddy of them all.
Yep, the pre-show of WrestleMania.
Until
Until
then,
then,
he's been,
Sean Mendes Smith.
and I've been Lisa Rock Jones.
If you're going to NXT Takeover New Orleans, enjoy it. And we will see you tomorrow night for the Showcase of the Immortals, WrestleMania.